people of the internet. Ian Altosaar, the Freedom Astrologer here, and this time I'm bringing you guys a pretty, I would say a pretty huge and important dose of freedom, and we're going to talk about meaning and purpose. And I'm going to do actually a mini series about meaning and purpose, which actually means I'm going to just go through the signs and show you how can you create meaning and purpose in your life through your zodiac sign. So this is actually, I would say, a very simple way of creating purpose and meaning in your life. But what I've experienced and seen is a lot of people, hear it, and it seems so simple and easy. It's like, okay, it can't be it, doing that, going for walks in nature can't be something that creates purpose and meaning in my life, so I just won't do it. But I've tested it out for a lot or a lot in the real world and in the material realm. It really works, and I actually personally very much use what I'm about to say to you in my daily life. I've integrated it into my career, and this is one of the good things about this information. Actually, if you have more availability, or at least I hope your thought processes start working, how can I integrate these things more into my daily routine or into my career working life? Because working life is such a big part of our everyday experience. It's good to have these activities and things I'm going to discuss with you in our working lives as well. Now, having said all that, I want to just do a kind of shameless plug for my other videos. I did one other video where I mention even some of the more maybe depending on where you are as an astrologer or as an astrology student or just a person who is curious about life. I did a video about purpose and meaning, which has a little bit even deeper information in it. So I recommend you go check that out. It's on my channel. In this specific mini series, I'm going to give you the most simplest of techniques that I shared in that video as well. And we're going to go actually through the signs, and I'm going to show you how creating meaning and purpose actually works in a very simple way. Now, and just a couple of disclaimers. Let's put a couple of disclaimers here. We're going to talk about mostly the ascendant, so from the ascendant. But if you only know your sun sign, you can use it from the sun as well. So listen to your sun sign. If you already kind of know your moon as well, you can give it a go with the moon. But for me, moon and sun are less tested, so we're going to be talking about from the ascendant as well. Now we're going to be talking about a very specific house, which is the 9th house and the sign in it. So very important to understand as well. And just when you're hearing this information, it's kind of like, yeah, it makes sense, but it doesn't, and there's something more there. So guys, I'm going to give my best to explain this. Whenever there are more influences in the 9th house, it already changes the game. And we're not going to go super deep into aspects and the rulers and stuff like that, but we're going to give you, or I'm going to give you the basis, the foundation of how to create meaning and purpose, so you can get yourself started. If you're kind of like struggling with meaning and purpose, there's maybe not enough in your career, in your working life, so at least you can start to do some of the things I'm going to discuss in these videos. Now, yeah, it's you can't always integrate everything into your career or work, but usually, most likely, there are things I'm going to say that you can do during your daily routines. Maybe it's evening, maybe it's morning, maybe it's somewhere during lunchtime. You can most likely start to integrate at least some of these into it, so it will create, even if a tiny sliver, meaning and purpose in your life. Yes, some of the things I'm going to discuss are a little bit bigger, they take time, but even working towards them can create meaning and purpose for the signs. Now, another important disclaimer is when we're talking about mission and career and work, usually it needs a deeper look at, obviously, that whole entire natal chart. It requires aspects, it requires rulership, it requires a lot more to give you an indication of what is their maybe truthful or rightful career, and where you will feel more on purpose as well. So just a disclaimer that we're not going to do full, let's say, career or work videos, but this is more about the purpose and meaning side of things. And there is a difference there. And yes, you can feel, on when you're doing your mission in life or serving your mission in life, you can feel already on purpose. But again, it's a little bit of a deeper topic. And what I've seen is when you integrate those topics that we're going to discuss into the career as well, or the mission side will have a lot more purpose and would even call it a deeper meaning to it as well. Now, I do personally use mostly the whole sign system you can see here on the screen, and which means the houses are equal size, and I've done a couple of videos for beginners on my channel as well about houses, about different systems. Having said that, I would, if you're a more advanced astrologer, but you don't know this specific thing, I would also check Placidus house cusps, the 9th house cusp specifically, and Campanus house system 9th house cusp. Whatever sign is there gives you also good indication of what is happening or how to create mission and purpose in your daily life. Now, that's it for the introduction, and let's start going into each sign specifically. Next up, Aquarius, guys. And for the Aquarius natives, we have the Libras, or the sign of Libra in the 9th house cusp, usually. And again, guys, air signs, having air signs in the 9th house cusp in a way is pretty, easy in a way in this modern society, because just easier to create for yourself in your daily routines, in your daily elements, because a lot of our, society is in those air elements right now, which for the Aquarius ascendant, what could it mean? Let's start diving in. So the biggest one here is relationships. So why do Aquarians actually love forming so many relationships in their lives? Because it gives them so much purpose and meaning. It makes their lives so much better because of it, because it gives so much purpose and meaning. So all of these relationships they actually form with people, while they're doing it, they're literally experiencing more purpose and meaning in their life. So this is a good, you can, form relationships basically constantly, daily. This involves, romantic relationships, but it also involves business relationships, business partnerships, and just, friendship relationships, one-on-one relationships, forming these, which, brings me to the other point, which is, one-on-one consulting, even very much, can also bring the Aquarius ascendant, sun or moon more purpose and meaning. Now, the next ones, because now you can already start to see how it's a little bit easier for the air signs, or especially right now, Aquarius. The next ones are making deals, forming, business partnerships, forming business deals, generally doing business, because a lot of, what we do in our current society is business. It's, capitalism. Socializing and communicating with others, being in social situations and having people around them and communicating with them. Again, happens constantly. Maybe little bit less with this V situation we have going on, but still gives them a lot of purpose and meaning. Now, this next one I'm about to tell is a big one. Now, balancing their lives, and it's not even like one specific area. Balancing their lives in general. This is a big one for the Aquarius. Whenever they manage to find that balance, or even are focused on balancing some of their areas, again, meaning and purpose comes to their being. Let's put it that way. Even politics, interesting one, because the sign of Libra is associated a lot with politics. Now, I'm not saying you need to go into politics. Rather, it's easier to balance your life and communicate with others, but still something to keep in mind. Now, art, making art, designing things. Again, you can very often put these things at least into your daily routine or weekly routine, even it's a hobby or something. Again, can put this there. Architecture. Now, architecture, maybe it's hard for you to form relationships as an Aquarius. Still, watching architecture, doing something with architecture. Again, good way to do it. Negotiating, being diplomatic in general. When they are diplomatic and kind of like even equal, they have this equal approach to everything, equal approach to other people. In life in general, this kind of seeing things as equals and seeing people as equals, then again they're creating more purpose and meaning in their lives. Diplomacy, very important. Seeing both perspectives. If they manage to see both perspectives of the situation of the other person, again, more meaning and purpose created in their lives. Very big one, I think I need to even stress this a little bit more, is starting new things and beginning new things. Usually, obviously it depends on the whole chart, but still, for the Aquarius ascendant, starting and beginning new things in their lives is actually one of the big things that gives them purpose and meaning in their life. So whenever an Aquarius feels like, oh, I don't know, is there any meaning to this, crap, quote unquote, rather just start something new, begin something new, be the initiator of something new in your life. Again, more purpose and meaning is actually created through that action. So please remember this and use it in your life as well. So being fair and obeying the law, I also wrote down here, which are good ways to also live your life in general. Doesn't really have to be integrated. I think it's more needed to integrate into your being fair to others and obeying the law. So for those of you who haven't watched the previous videos, I wrote down some places I'm going to share with you, where you can go as an Aquarius to create more meaning and purpose. Now, social events, these places that I'm going to mention, these are places where all these things I mentioned can be more lived or felt or experienced. So social events and other relationships happen there. Just literally talking one-on-one with somebody, like you do in a relationship. Again, just very simple, very easy, gives the Aquarius more meaning and purpose. Art studios, art galleries, exhibits. Again, wherever art is created, beauty is created, more meaning for the Aquarius. Lawyer's office, but depending on your career, maybe not constantly. Government buildings. This is an interesting one because usually it's more like Capricorn associated, but this time, wherever there's politics done, wherever there's diplomacy, business done, it can be an office, social movements office, the court, business district even. You know, these places are all where the Aquarius can actually feel more on purpose, because there's a lot of that Libra energy going on, which in turn gives them more meaning and purpose. Guys, I hope this makes sense to you. I know it can seem very simple. You know, what do you mean? Just get into a relationship or have relationships and business partnership and feel meaning and purpose? Yes, that's the thing. That's what I'm, you know, doing my best to get through to you. Or make art, design things, you know, watch architecture. Again, Aquarius gets more meaning. You know, even go to these beautiful, when you're, I don't know, traveling city center, whatever you are, you know, watch or go to places where there is beautiful architecture. Again, makes you feel more meaning and more purpose. Thank you very much, guys. Ian Altosaar, the Freedom Astrologer, out for now. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching, listening. Like, share, subscribe to the video, and all that good stuff. See you again soon in the next video.